Welcome to the channel. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It might be over for J. Prince Jr. The feds just said that they indicted him and Boosie on what happened to Duke the Jeweler. I want y'all to know Duke the Jeweler, he got hit up 7 times at one of Boosie Dice games. Now they kept saying it happened somewhere else, but all the evidence pointed back to where they had the dice game at, that location. Now, Duke the Jeweler, he went out to his car to put the money up. The Fed said that as soon as he went out to the car, 2 dudes approached him with masks on and gloves, and them the same 2 dudes that was inside of that dice game. Now, I want y'all to know, it was somebody in mob ties that did that to Duke the Jeweler. Now, the Feds, they kicking in. They showing their true colors and they showing how they feel about mob ties. Now keep in mind, everybody in Texas, they do certain things a certain way because they know J. Prince Jr. and them gonna get up on their bumper. But J. Prince Jr., he only gonna do what his daddy say. Now keep in mind, his daddy, he run Texas, he don't run every state. The Fed said that J. Prince, he said something about it, he spoke on it, and he said that his son's name shouldn't be implemented in none of this. But we can't tell if they did it or if they didn't because J. Prince Jr., he was inside the dice game while Duke the Jeweler was outside and the dudes was running up on him. Now keep in mind, J. Prince Jr., he tried to go and cover it up and act like ain't nothing ever happened, but Boosie gave him that money. This what made me think that Boosie was the one who paid somebody in his circle to actually do that to Duke the Jeweler. A lot of people know for a fact how they get down, but you can't say that they bad people. All you can say is the people they keep around them will do anything for money. And I want y'all to know Duke the Jeweler, his family, all they wanted was justice all these years, and everything that happened, J. Prince Jr., them, they scared right now. And everybody that's in J. Prince Jr.'s circle, the whole mob ties, they looking at this as if all of them finna go down. Y'all should have never did that to Duke the Jeweler. Y'all should at least let the man make it home. Why did you have to rob him and kill him? You ain't even had to do both of them. You could have just did one of them and just let the man live. Let the man keep his life. No, y'all wanted to put y'allself on the map. Y'all wanted to make y'allself seem like y'all was somebody big, mighty, and tough. But everybody know for a fact, every rock that's big will crumble and fall. And everybody in Duke the Jeweler circle, y'all need to watch the people y'all go around. And y'all need to watch the company that y'all hang around. Because everybody ain't gonna be in your circle. You see what happened to Duke the Jeweler. He was in a whole nother state, but he got all these people who he helped out there in Chicago who won't even reach out and see what happened or see why did this go down the way that it went down. Y'all should have been there. Y'all should have been right there with Duke the Jeweler when everything was transpiring. It ain't no way that Duke the Jeweler went there and didn't make it back home and ain't nobody to actually blame for it. They blame somebody for what happened to Takeoff. Why they can't say that this person did this to Duke the Jeweler? Is it because Duke the Jeweler from Chicago, or is it because Duke the Jeweler was in Boosie's vicinity and Boosie paid them people $1 million? Boosie had to sell cars and everything to come up with $1 million just before he left Houston. And I want y'all to know Houston a good place. But it's so many people that go out there and make it have a bad look and a bad name. Duke the Jeweler, his girlfriend, she said that she willing to testify against every single person who had something to do with what happened to Duke the Jeweler. Now, keep in mind, Duke the Jeweler, he only went out there to sell Boosie to pieces. When he didn't sell Boosie to pieces, Duke the Jeweler started looking crazy because he trying to figure out like, okay, we supposed to be in a transaction, a money deal, but you trying to get me over here to this dice table. Now, keep in mind, it seemed like Boosie was trying to actually take money from him so that Boosie would come up even more and use the money that he came up on Duke the Jeweler with to buy the jewelry. But Duke the Jeweler ended up leaving all his bags in Boosie's room. If you leave your bags in anybody's room, that person is supposed to come out and say what happened and actually say, oh, here go their belongings. Do you want me to give it to the family? Do you want me to give it to the girlfriend so that they can be able to whatever they want to do with it? If they want to pawn it, if they want to go somewhere and sell some of it, some of the pieces, they could do whatever they want to do. But Duke the Jeweler, it didn't go like that. I want y'all to know the feds, they looked into this case for 2.5 years and they kept saying, HPD covered something up. HPD got something to do with this. HPD knew what happened, but they didn't Like they didn't give forth all the correct information when it was presented and when it was needed. Now Jay Prince Jr., he thought that he was gonna slip up out of this and get away with everything that's going on, but they got him now. And I'm so glad that this going the way that it's going, because we're gonna continue to make it to where the case cracked wide open and we able to have a breakthrough on everybody who got sent up, everybody who got killed, everybody who got shot up, anything. It don't matter who it got something to do with. Long as we know that these people got justice and we know that Boosie and Jay Prince Jr. and them going down for what they did. Now, the feds, they kept saying one thing. They kept saying the 19-year-old, the dude with the dreads. Now, that was the one who drove the black GMC truck out back to Atlanta to try to get rid of the evidence and stuff, because that's where they dumped the gloves and that's where they dumped all of the guns and stuff at that they had, that they did that to Duke the Jeweler. Now, keep in mind, they made it back to Atlanta safely, but OTM and Boosie people, they like them the same people who the feds kept on mentioning. And I want y'all to know, Jay Prince Jr. got nervous when they mentioned something about the dude Lil Cam Fifth having something to do with what happened to Takeoff and Duke the Jeweler. Now keep in mind, Takeoff, he didn't deserve to go out like that, but Duke the Jeweler didn't deserve to go out like that. Let me know if you're a fan of Duke the Jeweler. Drop the RIP Duke the Jewelers down in the comment section. Regardless of how they look at it or how they put it, they should have never even did this to this man. This man got family. He got people that love him. And it's a lot of people. Like, I didn't know that Duke the Jeweler had all these fans like this. There's a lot of people want to know what's going on and what's happening with Duke the Jeweler, with the case, with Boosie and Jay Prince Jr. and them. So if you're a new fan, so if you're new to the channel, I want you to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It was a lot of witnesses right there, but the witnesses, they only gave a brief summary of what actually went down and what actually happened in there. Now, keep in mind, Boosie, he's the main one who keep trying to put other people's name in it and say this person did it, that person did it, but Jay Prince Jr., his name written all over it, and they looking at Jay Prince Jr. as if he's the mastermind behind what happened to Duke the Jeweler. Now, keep in mind, they took most of the money from Jay Prince Jr. now. Duke the Jeweler, when he was shooting dice, he was shooting against Jay Prince Jr. and his homies. You cannot put an eye on Boosie people being around the table other than just standing right there not gambling with no money in their hand. So everything falls back on to the channel. If you're a fan of Duke the Jeweler, let me know where y'all from down in the comment section.
After Duke the Jeweler was shot in a parking garage in Houston, police began a homicide investigation. Reports say he had just left a concert and was ambushed during a robbery after previously winning a large amount of money in a dice game. Now, we've all taken the time to look at that video where the dice game was going on. And if you really look at it, it wasn't just an ambush. This was a thought-out, thorough, planned, step-for-step event that happened that night. There were too many cues, little nods, little whistles, little eye gestures, if you will, people by the door making suspicious phone calls. You cannot tell me that this was not a planned setup. And first off, foremost, Boosie made sure that Duke the Jeweler put his bags somewhere safe, where he knew where they were.
And this is why it feels like the people that's around Boosie, they're saying that Boosie is getting charged for something that Prince Jr. won't get locked up for what happened to Duke the Jeweler. Now, Duke the Jeweler, he'll still be here with us right now if they would have never did what they did. But by this being premeditated and planned out days ahead, it makes it seem like it was a setup more than an ambush. An ambush is when they just come and catch you at a certain vulnerable state in your life, when you unaware of your surroundings and things like that, and then it just happened. But no, Duke the Jeweler was aware of his surroundings. It's the people that was with Duke the Jeweler, which is Boosie, Jay Prince Jr., Mob Ties, and so on. Those are the people who sat there and planned and plotted. And the feds, they do a thorough investigation regardless of what's going on. They sit and they get and collect all of the evidence that they need in order to convict somebody, because in order for you to charge somebody with anything, you have to prove that they're guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
And looking at that, you're looking at forensics. Now, what is forensics? In this case, it would be the shell casings, surveillance tapes, phone data, phone videos. Witnesses, there was a lot of people there that night, even to the point that the police say multiple suspects are involved, drivers and shooters alike. Once they have gathered enough evidence, they're able to issue arrest warrants, question the suspects, and prepare the evidence to go to prosecution. But the biggest question that still lingers is, what are they going to run this as for charges? Or is it going to be capital murder, aggravated robbery, conspiracy, or felony murder? They really could go with any one of these, but it looks like it qualifies for capital murder under Texas laws. That's not a good charge to try to fight. When whoever is involved, you're looking at multiple suspects. That means this trial could go on for a very long time once it kicks off.
It's people who said that Boosie, he paid $1 million after he sold all his cars and things like that, so that he can clear his name, so that he can be able to not be tied back to this. But it's video evidence showing that Boosie was involved. It's video evidence showing that Boosie, he had people around when he got a whole family behind him. The feds, they not gonna play no games, and Boosie may have beat that gun charge, but look what's finna happen next. Boosie, it's over with for Boosie. Like, Boosie, he knew what he did, but J. Prince Jr., he wanna cover his name
But while there's no pinpoint of who it is, everything keeps circling back around Boosie. If you're innocent, you're going to do everything you can, especially as a public figure, to clear your name. But we also know this little thing that's called murder for hire. And so you could play the, oh, I'm innocent card because I didn't pull the trigger. But that doesn't mean you didn't set up the plan. And that's still a charge.
and it's like you was an accessory to it, because it was your nephew who was right there across that pool table while they were shooting dice, study eyeballing Duke. He was on surveillance watching Duke only. He wasn't worried about nobody else because he knew everybody else that was there. Now, keep in mind, the dude that was with Boosie, he's the same one who went to the parking lot, and he was the only one who was spotted out there in that parking lot.
At the end of the day, whoever did this, whoever plotted this, planned it, and executed it, like, shame on them. This is not how we should be moving in life. You took a person who is highly talented, you took him away from his friends, his family, his loved ones, and, like, not a lot of people could do what he could do.
The crime scene investigator said that the evidence that's connecting Boosie to Duke the Jeweler is basically the jewelry, the bags, the footage, and so on.
And their previous interactions, the planning of the trip, the coordination of what jewelry pieces are going to be made.
The text messages from when he told Boosie he was on his way to come to the dice game.
And yet he tried to play, I don't know him like that. Honestly, you ain't got to know somebody like that to take him out, to plan a robbery, to plan whatever it is you planned, and it went too far.
Everything that Boosie thought he was going to do and get away with, it happened, but now his name is still out there connected to Duke the Jeweler. Now, from what I know from being in the streets, if you out there in the streets, you get caught up in the dice game or anything, just because the police don't say nothing right then and there, that don't mean that they don't have your name on file connected to this case.
There's too much facial recognition out there nowadays. You're on file somewhere. Even if you have never been in and been fingerprinted, your face has hit every camera across the city. And let me tell you, the modern technology, it's good. They know where you live, your grandmother lives, your father, your mother, your brothers, your sisters. You think if they're not going to come for you if you were actually a part of this, you're wrong.
They thought that J. Prince Jr. was going to do what he always do, which is go up to the station, talk to his favorite officer, and get some swept under the rug. He tried to do that. You know what they told him? They said, man, nah, man, it's too public. It's too many people involved in it. Boosie involved in it. Once they said Boosie name, J. Prince Jr., he did what he did. He walked up out of there like, damn, Boosie, man. He should have never had this Dice game. Now they regretting it all.
They're going to regret it. They're going to regret it even more as they pull up and they pick up their suspects and people start getting charges. Just because you're somebody rich and famous does not mean you're above the law. But that's the mindset, again, with these people. They think they can buy their way out of any situation. They can talk their way out of any situation. And the law doesn't apparently apply to them. I hate to tell you, there's plenty of famous people that have been convicted of crimes.
And Duke the Jeweler, he was from Chicago. And a lot of people said that Duke the Jeweler, he should have mailed Boosie that jewelry. He should have did something besides went out there. He'll still be here with us right now. They said that Boosie, he connected to a lot of stuff, but we gonna stick with what happened to Duke the Jeweler.
At the end of the day, he could have sent somebody as his personal carrier and had that jewelry delivered. There is no reason he needed to make that drop off in person, which implies they knew each other more than what they're letting on, because you're not going to sit here and put yourself in danger knowing the history, knowing the street talk, and knowing what goes on without a backup plan. It's just not going to happen. No smart man or woman is going to do that to themselves. So that means he felt safe delivering this jewelry to Boosie. He felt like he was welcome, protected, and did not need to be prepared for an assault, robbery, or anything else of that matter.
I don't know why Boosie thought that he was just going to get away with it, but maybe because J. Prince Jr., he run the city. Maybe because J. Prince Jr. name involved in a lot of stuff and it's just been swept under the rug or he got away with it. And this is coming straight from Houston, y'all. I only know what they tell us. At the end of the day, they know for a fact that Duke the Jeweler, if he would have left his stuff at home or would have checked in, what they call it, to J. Prince Jr. and them, this would have never happened to him. No, look what happened to Takeoff. You see, Takeoff got sent up and they wanted Takeoff and Quavo and them to check in. This sad, man. And I know it's a lot of people who know for a fact that J. Prince Jr., the evidence point back to J. Prince Jr. for too many things. You cannot put yourself in these predicaments thinking that you should have used your mind and start regretting stuff later on in life and all this stuff. I want y'all to know this is a sad situation.